On this video, we are going to review the new MacBook Pro, the new M1pro MacBook Pro and the new M1 Max MacBook Pro. I'm going to share with you the new things added to this device, and we are going to take a look at the introduction of the MacBook Pro, the new design. The new MacBook Pro is fully redesigned. It now comes in two sizes, 16 inches model and 14 inches model. It's now having a great 1080p camera at the front for FaceTime calls. You can also see the new notch at the top like the ones on iPhones. As you all know, the old MacBook Pro don't have a notch. Now let's take a look at the new added ports. There's a new HDMI port for different displays and TVs, a Thunderbolt 4 port and a new SD card slot for transferring media. And on the other side is a headphone jack. There are new 2 added Thunderbolt 4 ports, that's a total of 3. And MagSafe is coming back to MacBook Pro. MagSafe 3 is now redesigned. The 16 inches model is 16.8 mm thin and 4.7 pounds, while the 14 inches model is 15.5 mm and weighs 3.5 pounds. The keyboard. As you know, all MacBook Pro users love the Magic Keyboard. So now the Magic Keyboard is brought to the MacBook Pro. The new backlit system is amazing. The trackpad is better as always. With this new design, the displays are now larger. The 16 inches model has 16.2 display, while the 14 inches model have 14.2 display. The closure is now closer to the displays, not like the old MacBook Pros. The displays. The new MacBook Pro is having the Liquid Retina XDR display. It's now having 7 million pixels, and the 14 inches model is having 5.9 million pixels. The ProMotion technology is now added to the new MacBook Pro with a refresh rate of 120 Hz. This means scrolling in pages and other activities will be super flawless. The display now supports 100 billion colors for ultra smooth gradients. And now the speakers. The speakers are now having 2 larger woofers, and it's now having 80% more bass. And they also brought the sensational 6-speaker sound system, and this is all added to the 14 inches model as well. The new sound system also supports spatial audio, which creates 3-dimensional sound stage, and now you get a theater live experience. The microphones are now high studio quality mics. That's the best audio and sound system in MacBook Pros. The battery life. It's now having 2 times battery life. That's 21 hours of video playback, and now with fast charging you can get 50% in 30 minutes and 100% in 15 minutes. You can get 21 hours of battery life, though depending on the usage. The CPU and GPU. The new M1pro MacBook Pro delivers 200GB per second memory bandwidth, and the M1 Max delivers 400GB per second memory bandwidth, and that's 6 times M1. 33.7 billion transistors. That's more than twice M1. It's having 10-core CPU, 8 high-performance core and 2 high-efficiency core, delivering up to 70% faster CPU performance than M1. It's also having 2 times graphics performance than M1. Good part. ProRes is added to the MacBook Pro. It enables M1 Pro to play multiple streams of 4K and 8K video. The 16-core neural engine operates 11 trillion operations per second. It's not just M1 Pro, but there's also a new chip. That's M1 Max. It's twice M1 Pro and 6 times M1. This is the best MacBook Pro with 70% less power consumption. The macOS is now better with new features added to it, but I don't want to talk about that right now. To cut the story, let's watch the introduction of the MacBook Pro.
We've created something wild. With a fire in its belly. This thing draws everything in, moving silently, night and day, into the deepest blacks and brightest lights. Its eye, razor sharp. Its sound, deafening. Pretty. Dangerous. So why would anyone give this beast more power? You'd have to be reckless. What have we done? to.
So that's the new MacBook Pro. We couldn't be more excited about what this groundbreaking system can do. It allows pros to unleash their creativity in ways that were previously unimaginable, and is for anyone who simply wants the world's best notebook. When you compare the 14-inch model to the previous high-end 13-inch MacBook Pro, you get a giant leap in performance, up to 7 more hours of battery life, a larger display with XDR, an advanced camera, high-fidelity audio, and more ports, all for $1999. And when you compare the new 16-inch Pro to the previous model, you also get a massive boost in performance and capabilities for $24.99. Both models are available in silver and space gray. You can order it today, and it'll be available next week.